I'm gonna let my fellow members introduce themselves, and then I'll go last.
What up, everybody? It's Cutto on Twitter and Twitch. How y'all doing?
What it do? It's your man. Love it, man.
Love it, man.
You already know. It's your boy Flossy B. 9-3.
That's the boss.
Do what
And
y'all.
last but in no way least, it's me, Tiggity T. Let's get into it.
I am
So
Tyler.
this episode, this episode is going to be our debate episode. So with that being said, we have 5 topics for debate of the panel members, and we would like to see you in the comments respond to what you think, what you thought of our views. If we got something wrong, let us know. So far in the comments on TikTok and Instagram, so far we've been getting pretty gnarly with a few people who just haven't been coming correct. I mean, if you it's one thing to insult if you have the knowledge, but if you're gonna come and you're gonna say funny stuff, I mean, at least be correct in what you're saying.
I'm gonna say
Know
that
what you're talking about with you.
the next
agree.
one of y'all that come in these comments talking about their parents didn't teach the kids no jutsus, y'all gonna see me outside. You see, Lee Village resident. You see it? I'm not playing with y'all.
Not playing. All right. Starting off with number 1. Who in the current continuity of Dragon Ball is the most powerful Saiyan?
Are we just firing from the hip here, or how are we doing?
You can go at any time. Anybody can launch in, and we'll just rebut and say our own for rebuttal against the other members. Go ahead.
If I'm being upfront, it's Gohan.
100%. 100%. Big
Gohan.
facts.
We
And it's not even by a close margin.
Are we doing anime only, or
So,
because if we talking, or if it's in the current continuity of Dragon Ball, like
so I would say we can give answers for both, but
mhm.
ultimately I think the answer falls with the manga, just because I think that's I don't want to say that's the ultimate interpretation, but that's what we see first, you know. So kind of first impression is given based on the manga. So
I was gonna
give
say
what your feeling is on both.
my feeling on both, at least currently speaking, is Gohan for the manga. But if we're talking only in the anime, I can see an argument where someone would say it's still Goku. However, my personal feeling is it's not Goku. If we're talking only in the anime, especially with this next season coming out, it's actually Vegeta. For a very small window of time, it's Vegeta. It's the Prince of all Saiyans. But manga-wise, it's Gohan because he has reached a point where we haven't seen anyone else reach in the rest of the series. This is a character who, through his own merit, pushed through to a level that is comparable to Ultra Instinct as far as speed. He's able to speed blitz Ultra Instinct, which doesn't make sense. Like the autonomousness of it, he's like, yeah, I'm faster than that. It's fine.
I'm bypassing that. Don't worry.
I'm bypassing that. You gonna actually have to think and block. Like, I know your brain is off right now and your body moving, but you're gonna have to really look at me and duck, because I'm gonna hit you in the face. Like, it's really ridiculous. And then the fact that we see like Whis and Beerus acknowledge his level of power when he shows up, especially in Beast form. They're like, what is that? That's not God Ki? No. That's just Gohan. Caught him in chat. Put some respect on that. That's he's
100%.
in for it.
D, what do you think?
I'm going off the path here. I'm gonna say I think y'all gotta correct me if I'm wrong because with the answer here. 'Cause I'm going fusion first off.
Mhm.
I can't remember which one.
Oh Lord.
Which one is the Patara earrings? That's Vegito.
That's Vegito. Yes, sir.
And then the fusion
Yeah.
dance is it is Vegito.
Yeah, but Vegito only exists for like up to an hour.
So
Not
I
really.
disagree. So I disagree, and I'll tell you why. So the disadvantages to Patara are outweighed by the advantages gained by Metamoran fusion. So
Fusion dance is
the reason I say that is this. Ultimately, the power initially given by the Patara earrings is greater. But you can break through that fusion if you use too much power.
right.
With the fusion dance, you get that 30-minute allotment regardless of how much power you fucking run through.
Right.
I thought they said with the fusion
Although-
dance you had to be at equal level.
Yeah. Basically,
Yes.
sort of. Like Gohan or Goku and Piccolo could not do that dance.
But if you look at the mentality of Gogeta versus Vegito, I would make the argument that Vegito plays with his food. Whereas Gogeta did not. Gogeta took the fight seriously. He handled Broly. There was not a moment where there was not a moment where Broly had Gogeta at a disadvantage.
Interesting.
Whereas when Vegito was fighting Zamasu, even though he had the power to end it, he was playing.
But okay.
If a Trunks with Rage can outpace Vegito, come on.
I mean, even with that, granted, being said that that he plays, but that really doesn't have anything to necessarily do. That's what we're going off of. Strongest saying, correct?
Yeah, but then I would make the argument it's got to be a single Saiyan.
That's what.
I was
That's not what we said at first. So that's I say I'm going outside the box. But you got it.
Okay, outside the box.
So,
All right.
so now that I'm thinking in the box, then single Saiyan. I honestly would like to argue Future Trunks.
Ooh.
Super
Interesting.
Future Trunks. But I still think it is Gohan.
Why would you argue it's Future Trunks?
Because arguing Future Trunks,
Because he fused Zamasu with his Rage boost. And he'd only been training by himself because everyone else was dead. Whereas everyone else's strength is comparative because they had other people to train with. So
Yeah.
you
Did
win.
we lose title?
You should be able to pick.
Sorry, am I back?
There you go.
Am
Yeah.
I back?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So, with regards to
Dang.
You lost you again.
Dang. We lost you again. Why they trying to get you? Lord.
So, emergency handled, back on topic, most powerful Saiyan.
We were talking
All
about
right.
Future Trunks and your take on that.
Future Trunks being able to get strong enough to slash through a fusion Zamasu by himself without anyone else's assistance.
Wasn't that Slash a spirit bomb though?
So, he did
speaks on
It's from a spirit sword.
Yeah.
But even if it was a spirit bomb, it still has to be pushed by the user. Goku shows that in every time that he has to power up in order to push it.
Yes.
So he still has to inflict that as an attack on the person. So to be able to do that where Vegito couldn't is crazy.
Yeah.
Like to be able to put the kibosh in it because Vegito couldn't put the kibosh in it.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say there could be an argument for
Valid
future
argument.
Trunks. I mean, it's not, but because it's Gohan.
Yes, I.
But future Trunks is an interesting option. I do agree. Los, what do you think?
I think it's not Gohan.
Oh.
Not yet, at least. I think it's Goku still. Only because while Beast has definitely put on an impressive display in both bouts now against Goku, and the power output that it has, I would say Gohan has essentially finally caught up, if not maybe slightly exceeded where Goku is currently. However, Goku we still haven't seen the upper limit of what UI does. Not only that, we still haven't seen what it would do once he assimilates it, like he assimilated Super Saiyan God. So
we get a bit of a glimpse in the Granola arc where Goku he understands something fundamental about being a Saiyan, and he uses Ultra Instinct less as a transformation and more of like a mode of being. So
Right,
No, it's a technique.
yeah,
So he uses it as a technique in his other forms.
right.
yeah. So in we see him with like just regular hair. He hasn't transformed or anything, and he's still like doing things that doesn't make sense. Like he put Vegeta in that bubble, and I was like, okay, what is that?
Right.
He's learning Ultra Instinct. So now it's like it begs the question: where does that end up? Like, are we going to see Super Saiyan Blue Ultra Instinct? What is that? How does that work? Yeah, so I can see that argument pretty well.
I think that while that is a possibility that we could see that, I think he would have to stop training Broly as of Dragon Ball Superhero, and he would have to undergo the training that Vegeta is trying to put himself through in order to be able to use Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan 4. However, if he goes into Mastered UI, that's it at its peak. So I think until he can figure out a way to maybe apply Mastered UI into his forms, maybe there's an argument there to be stronger than Gohan. But up until that, it's all about latent battle power, baby. Latent battle power wins the day because you make a Saiyan mad enough, and holy shit.
Potential, not power. Potential. There's a difference. Gohan has the most latent battle potential, not the most latent battle power.
But even with
Broly
Goku,
has the most latent battle power.
I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that Broly is more rage-induced, and hold on, Corey, don't give me the eyes. Let me cook for a minute. Because he's the legendary Super Saiyan, he has a mutation that causes his power level to rise every so often, especially during combat. Additionally, he can also use the Hikari form.
I was gonna say, ironically,
You're like helping prove my point right now.
Because Beast Gohan would walk Super Saiyan Broly.
Well,
Yes.
ironically, they
It
fight.
has more to do with fighting
They
ability
fight.
than it does power. Is what I'm trying. That is where that comes down to.
So they fight each other in the manga, and in that fight, because Broly is a natural genius, he understands that his power and Gohan's power are extremely similar. That Beast form is akin to whatever rage is inside of Gohan that lets him push beyond his limits. And because of that, Broly's able to access his power, but more consciously. He doesn't like spaz
Able
out.
to emulate it, kind of in the
Yes.
same way he was able to
And it's-
emulate the God Bind.
Yeah, and it's because him and Gohan traded hands. So
Crazy.
I can easily see Broly being like, "Psych, it was me the whole time." But I also understand why the argument is Gohan is king of the hill right now, or even Goku, because what Carl said is valid as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I do see the validity in that statement as well. All right.
But we have to wait and see, because it means if there's going to be a second tournament of power, what them other universes going to do, because there's way too many Saiyans on this earth, and then Piccolo can turn orange, and he started using OG Piccolo moves. Why you giant now? Why you didn't whip that out first turn? That's my question.
100%.
You had that, you could have stomped everybody, like call it a day. Break the stage. Everybody lose except me.
And now we're
They're
going
gonna be
to move
Mr.
on
Fantastic next turn.
to who was the better wielder of One for All.
I don't remember
Oh.
what I said originally. I think I said
Do you think it's one of the other vestiges, or would you make the argument for Toshinori Yagi or Izuku
Oh.
Midoriya?
it was All Might. I said All Might. I said All
Yeah,
Might.
I agree
you did
with
Toshinori
All
Yagi.
I said All Might. I said All Might.
I agreed with All Might. Although I understand the opposite side of that argument, where it's Midoriya is the perfect vessel for boy, I always get confused on this, so don't judge me. All for one for all, one for all.
One for All.
Yes.
I still
Yes.
think it was more of a timing thing, but
So I
You-
do agree. I
even-
think it's a time.
even looking at Deku's character, if that was to come into play, I could also understand why he was chosen. But I still mostly think that was a timing change. Just to get my argument out there, the only reason I say All Might, and the only reason I say All Might, is because if he had never gotten injured to where he couldn't maintain his muscle form, he'd have been One for All user well into his 60s, probably 70s.
I would agree with that. However, let me counter. Let me
Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
let me counter with Izuku Midoriya, and I'll tell you why. So, All Might would not have been able to face the things that Deku had to face. And I don't mean in just fighting terms, because being a hero within My Hero Academia is not just about how powerful you are, but about your popularity, which we clearly see with Endeavor. And Endeavor, for being the, scumbag that he, has been most of the series with his amazing character development, but he did a pretty good job of facing the terror. I mean, granted, he hid most of the time and was like wearing an overcoat to hide himself. But granted, he didn't lash out at the public. He, was graceful. He told the public he wanted to try and reassure them. He would do what he could, and he did. He did everything that he had within his power. I don't know that All Might would have, even had he still been in his prime, I still think that there would have been villains that would have given him a run that Deku has faced. Not all of them. Obviously, we're not seeing somebody like Muscular do anything to All Might. All Might's dog walking that guy. But somebody like Bane the God, I mean, that might be a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because, again, but we haven't seen All Might Prime in a real fight either. We've only seen him take on some low-level villains. So we don't know his reaction time or whatever, and his battle prowess. Whereas we know Midoriya is in and out because he's constantly studying in battle. I think that the other thing is
to take that angle on the argument.
if you put Deku in All Might's place and have him where if you basically had switched their roles, now assuming that they would have still gone the same way with the quirks, right? Because I could have easily seen somebody like Deku choosing somebody like All Might had it been the other way around time-wise. But let's say, for sake of sakes, alternate universe, Deku is the 8th wielder and has all those quirks in his manifest human, right? and Toshinori's like, man, I want to be just like you. Da da da. I don't think Deku is having to work as hard to take out All For One's organization, and I definitely do not think that he's losing to All For One. I don't think he's leaving it undone like that because with the access. Say again.
With the injury,
I think Deku would be injured, but I don't think that.
I'm saying with that same injury, you think he'd still have a better time than or manage it better than All Might did.
What about
No. I'm not talking about their later fight. I'm not talking about when All Might lost his power. I'm talking about when they fought for the first time. I don't think Deku's taking a loss. I think he would be able to close the deal the first time with All For One.
I mean,
and I think
6 other quirks? Yeah, I would hope so.
I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Crazy word.
But that still proves that he was a better wielder since he was able to manifest those.
Yeah, maybe, kind of, in a way.
The Vestiges said they chose him based on his character.
Yeah,
which is fair. You know,
they didn't choose based on the number. They didn't choose based on any of that shit. They said, "You are the one we have been waiting for."
Is fair. That is valid. I'm not gonna hold it against them. I'm just saying, even with it.
Take your time.
I'm just saying.
Take your time. Come on.
I got my man Deku, man.
Even with all the, I'm not hating. It's just.
I'm just saying.
Once for all itself, I just don't see how you put him as a better wielder of that quirk over All Might.
I think
he doesn't
secretly, hear me out, because this is gonna make y'all mad as shit. Secretly speaking, if All Might had chosen Bakugo to wield it, I think he would have did a better job than all of them.
Ooh.
I think Lemillion, to be honest. I think Lemillion would have truly been generationally the greatest hero ever had he got one draw.
Yeah. I can see that too. But
I can understand that argument, but I think Bakugo is a better choice just because before he burns himself out, he's already got the body. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to, he's already been training his own quirk, so his body's already got the endurance it needs. And if those Vestiges decide, hey, this is our shot, we're gonna shoot it, we're gonna give you the powers, then you stack 6 other fucking quirks on top of that motherfucker?
He was, and this is here's my caveat. Here's my caveat.
Lemillion, bro.
Here's my caveat.
Bro.
Here's my caveat. Here's my caveat for Bakugo.
Oh yeah,
he wouldn't
get those quirks.
He wouldn't have gotten all of those quirks. He would have gotten one of them.
Hear me out.
But he wouldn't have gotten all of them.
If he got all the quirks,
I think Bakugo would have gotten the second user's quirk because I wholeheartedly believe they're somehow related.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If Lemillion and Bakugo were both to get a full set of the quirks and be able to live their normal lifespan, who do you think not only can close the deal with a Shigaraki enhanced, but would be the better hero overall?
Oh yeah.
So if we're saying would be the better hero overall, it would be Lemillion because his quirk to me is a natural counter to Shigaraki's decay. He's like, I have to touch you, and he's like, you can't. But I'm still riding for Team Bakugo because we watched his quirk mutate.
Bakugo's fight would be cooler. His fight would be way cooler. His fight would be insane.
I think Bakugo.
I think Lemillion's fight would be cooler.
No, Lemillion's fight would go crazy for sure. I can even see
Lemillion would be
Shigaraki to use decay on himself.
Lemillion's using black lacquered chain and then using Fa Jin for every rotation he gets around Shigaraki, wrapping around him. And with his permeation, he can accelerate himself super fast out of the ground. So he gets one latch onto Shigaraki, and then he's got him all wrapped up.
What's the one that Deku was stacking to give himself like a push in the air? What was that one?
So he has Float, Fa Jin, Gear
What does
Shift.
Fa Jin do? No, Gear Shift. What does Gear Shift do?
Gear Shift allows him to accelerate or decelerate his velocity.
Yeah, so
I mean, I'm not a physics major, but
how is there
it allows him
impact?
to
Gear
accelerate.
Shift? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
That's, you see what I'm saying? Like, and then not only that, we're talking about all for one damage output.
Millions took out all of Class 1A by himself without it. You give that man all the other quirks, Shigaraki is walking away in a bucket.
I don't know, man. That's the thing for me. Sean is
Dang,
bugging.
so you turned him into a smoothie? You say you turned him into a
Yes.
I still
smoothie?
think
You made that boy Red Kool-Aid, huh?
Because the million's not
my
going to
goodness.
mess around. The million is going to close that day. He's not going to be like Deku. He's going to be like, no, I'm taking one for the team. I'm putting you down, dog.
I still,
Like it's a done deal.
I still think Vermillion would have shown his buns.
Oh my god.
Hey man, hey bro,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
he's
lie.
still the
I'm
greatest
still mad at
superhero.
Horikoshi for that one.
Bro, he is still the
I'm
greatest
still mad at
superhero
Horikoshi
to
for
be,
that
bro.
one.
This man offered up cakes just to save the world, bro.
Oh my
Is he real about it?
They did my man Lemillion so wrong. All right,
That man said, "What a slice!"
you've heard our opinions. Let us know in the comments who's the best wielder. Who would be the best wielder? Let us know what you think. On to the next one. This one's gonna be an upset. Most powerful Uchiha.
Obito.
Think so? So let me say
I'm
this. You can say
I'm
any
gonna
form
answer
of them. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No,
Cole?
I'm just saying that's a good answer. Obito's a good choice, a solid choice.
I mean-
Definitely top 3.
Wait. Hold on. Nah, I'm not gonna say that because it's a spoiler. Y'all ain't reading that right now. I'm not gonna say that it's a spoiler.
Okay, Mr.
No
Two Blue
spoilers,
Boards,
I know.
calm down.
But y'all should go read that right
Y'all should go
now.
read that.
I know what you're talking about. I just seen. Yes, I saw it.
So you
I
saw
know
what?
what you're talking about.
All right,
Yes.
hey, save it.
That's one of her eyes, bro. It's not two of them. It's one. She did that with one eye.
Save it. Save it.
Sorry.
Okay,
Spoiler
it's fine.
alert.
I'm
We're done.
be quiet. Yep, it's Obito. That's who I'm riding with, anyways. Because Kamui Shuriken don't make no sense.
Kamui Shuriken is busted. All of that is Kakashi idea. That is the Kakashi idea.
That's pretty busted.
Well, no, that's
No,
not.
Kamui Shuriken is legit like the most broken Susanoo of the Susanos. It's disgusting. Like how there's no way to deal with that.
But we're not talking about what's the most broken ability. We're talking about
Oh,
who
that's
the most
true.
powerful Uchiha is.
That's facts.
Because you got to be able to seal the deal.
Madara for me, without question.
That's a valid answer.
Of all the Uchihas, I don't see
I think if
one
they
on
all
one. I don't see any of them been able to deal with Madara, except maybe Shisui.
I don't know if she
Not
could
even
deal with
Sasuke?
Madara.
You
No,
think Sasuke's doing nothing to Madara?
no.
We talking about
Madara.
we talking about Sasuke with the Ren and Sharingan, or we talking about like teenage?
Sasuke don't have Ren and Sharingan no more.
Yeah,
Okay, but when he
It's
did,
gone. When it
even when
even he did, don't get me wrong, the Ren and Sharingan would definitely give him an advantage, but because of Madara's the abilities of his eyes, nah. Madara would not make him obsolete, but he would heavily handicap Sasuke. It would be really tough. Really tough.
I think Sasuke.
Oh, I see why you said she's sweet in. I see why you said she's sweet in.
Exactly.
Because the Genjutsu.
Because Well,
Because then
no.
he don't really take
because Genjutsu, so like Shisui and Itachi, the thing that makes Shisui and Itachi considered to be the most genius amongst the Uchiha was because of their Genjutsu ability. The key or the high mastery of the Sharingan is in the Genjutsu because it can get so overpowering to a degree that even with the Sharingan, you can't automatically shut it down. So like with Madara, what would make it so tough for Madara, which is why Madara is my choice, is because one of his abilities is one of his eyes' abilities is to basically deny another, like somebody else's jutsu. He can see one jutsu that you have and say, okay, from henceforth you can't use it during this battle because his eye is just, that's the ability of his eye.
Is it a one-off or is it used multiple times?
Does
it have a limit?
I'm assuming in that fight, it's like a one thing at a time. So he would have to shut down something and then he'd have to let it go if he wanted to block another ability from coming out. So he couldn't shut down multiple abilities at one time. He can only do one at a time. And that's what would make Shisui and Itachi so tough for Madara, is because the Genjutsu would basically count as an ability he would have to shut down before even dealing with their ninjutsu. And then they're so ninjutsu heavy, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah, those are some heavy hitters. That's crazy.
So,
I don't know. I still think Rinne Sharingan Sasuke, man.
Yeah. I can understand why Carl's saying no, because we don't have too many Genjutsu feats of that caliber for Sasuke. I would argue though, Sasuke was good enough and specific enough with Tsukiyomi to convince why is his name escaping me? Anburu, head of Anburu, Danzo. To convince Danzo that no time had passed on the jutsu he had on his arm, the Izanagi jutsu he had left on his arm. And it was applicable enough that he had convinced Danzo that Itachi was there.
Right.
Even though Danzo saw through it, it was too late. Like, once the crows dissipated, he was like, your brother could have did this jutsu way better. I was like, you already in it.
Now, my only counter to that is that would take, so it would take a battle between, there'd have to be a skill gap in that battle. And so, honestly, looking back at it, even Sasuke injured, tired, fighting Danzo, Danzo was still not really a match for Sasuke. And so that takes having enough time to focus and set that up while keeping your opponent busy and engaged in the fight. Same thing happened when Itachi and Sasuke were fighting Kabuto in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Itachi was able to set up Izanagi because Kabuto's fighting two Uchiha. Itachi's got room to focus and set up that Izanagi and start the loop because him and Sasuke are working together and keeping Kabuto busy.
Yeah.
I don't think Madara would give Sasuke that space, personally.
No, not for a second. As soon as he's like, an Uchiha?
Okay, I
gotta relax.
Yeah. Now, Obito also presents a challenge because, as we all know, he can use the Kamui, he can go into other space.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely provide a challenge for Madara. I think that more so would come down to ninjutsu, and then battle IQ. And I think Madara has just been in way more battles against way tougher opponents.
I also have one side question. Do you think if Minato was to fight Madara at Madara's peak, not when he was Edo Tensei, not when he was the Jinchuriki, but in the peak of his lifetime, do you think Minato could have 1v1 him?
Minato win.
Yeah, which Minato?
Minato at his peak versus Madara at his peak, could he have fought? Could he win?
Could he have won? Could he have pulled out the W?
Maybe
It would be very, very hard, but
I'd say 4 out of 10 times.
exactly like it's and it's because Madara is comparable to Hashirama as far as ninjutsu and like damage output. And if we're talking like Madara with Susanoo, maybe Minato has like a ceiling jutsu for that, maybe. But I feel like once the fight gets to those kinds of levels, Minato doesn't really have a chance. He'd be better off trying to catch Madara off guard, which I think he can feasibly do with his ability to teleport to wherever he puts those markers. And there's like no distance cap on that. So he's not gonna, if he needed to, he could just leave. Basically.
Yeah.
But if he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy, he has options. I mean, he can always put a contact seal on him. So he'll always know where Madara is, but Madara doesn't know where he is. If he's wary of Madara's genjutsu, he'll stay out of range. Most likely the fight would have to end in like some kind of split second flying Raijin type of deal. I think Minato's genius was at a caliber to where he would figure out some counters for Madara, but Madara is not the type of opponent where he's gonna let you sit there and analyze. Like, it's not the fight with Obito. It's not the same thing, because even in that fight, it took Minato like 4 minutes to figure out, oh, this is also a space-time ninjutsu, and I know how to counter it. I have to beat him to the punch. With Madara, it's like, I'll have to beat you to the punch to kill you, but like, if I'm just trying to leave and like make it back to the house, I can just leave. So I feel like him fighting Madara at his peak, at best, he'd undo he could probably undo the genjutsu he has on the Nine Tails, if Madara were to pull that out. But other than that, like, again, if I see like a Susanoo, I mean, you gonna summon Gamabunta and then be like, what do we do? Like, that's kind of ridiculous, because
Okay, and one last thing. Without getting into explanation, real quick, which of the Hokage, excluding Naruto, do you think has the best chance of defeating Madara? And then we'll move on to our next debate topic.
Hashirama. Maybe Tobirama.
Not without dying.
Yeah.
But if he Sensei's his brother?
That's cheating. He gonna be like, hey.
Okay, but he might be petty enough to do it though.
He would be petty enough to be like, remember y'all killed my little brother, remember that?
Madara wouldn't
Forbidden Jutsu.
Listen, he's the Batman of the Naruto world. He's got prep time, okay? I'm just kidding. No. All right, moving on to the next debate topic. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope it gets heated. What is the best isekai anime? Without a doubt, Rising of the Shield Hero.
Honestly, actually changed my answer on this. Rising of the Shield Hero is great.
You've abandoned me?
The reason it's not Rising of the Shield Hero is because there are more captivating isekai like Jobless Reincarnation, and that's my answer.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Jobless Reincarnation was, at least for this first season, probably some of the most nerve-wracking, interesting, like emotionally engaging anime I've ever watched.
Dude, that story was next.
Yeah.
a good one.
So I'd have to
know.
argue it's actually Jabba's reincarnation, even though it takes Isekai to a weird place because he's not actually like a 12-year-old master magician. He's like a 30-year-old dude from our world, but some kind of deity has brought his soul over to this world and put it inside this kid. And that has given him such an edge when dealing with other things because he thinks like a grown man, but he's 12.
Yeah,
And
it's a good one.
yeah, it's kind of taking my spot. And I thought about it after we had brought up the debate topics, to be honest. Because initially I was like, yeah, Rise of the Shield Hero, but I was like, nah, actually it's Jabba. I would also hear an argument for Razor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it, mate.
I would have to go with I can never remember how to pronounce the first part of this. Moonlit Fantasy.
Tsukimichi.
Kamushi Moonlit Fantasy. And
That's a banger right
that's
there.
my runner-up. To me,
I actually haven't watched that.
It's pretty good. I still gotta
Shout
go
out.
with Reincarnated as a Slime.
Valid.
But
Very valid.
yeah, that's my runner-up because, like I said to you before, both of those animes kind of mirror each other. Like Moonlit Fantasy is pretty much reincarnated as a slime, but he didn't reincarnate as a slime. He stayed human.
Oh. Wow.
So it's pretty.
That sounds kind of cool.
I'm telling you, Ray, you should definitely watch it.
Check it out. But what you think?
I ain't gonna lie, I changed my answer too.
What?
Originally, it was
man.
reincarnated as slime, and I actually have a pretty strong case as to why it was reincarnated as slime. But that was specifically against the Rising of the Shield here. And I was like, okay, I really only felt that way because it was against that. Did I really want to go that route? I had to take a step back. Reincarnated as slime to me is still fantastic. It is definitely like 1B, you know, that like there's a 1A and 1B. And I think 1A right now, I gotta agree with Flossie B's Jobless Reincarnation.
That is crazy. How did we both do a full 180 to come to the same conclusion, bro?
That first season. Because I'm not gonna lie, just like hearing you talk about it just now, just only further like set in what I was already thinking about. And yeah, bro, the first season is just magic. And then even in the second season, it's a lot shorter, but even though it's shorter, it still delivers.
Yeah.
On all fronts. It's such a good story. It's such a good story.
Bro, especially when he ran into the Dragon God.
Bro.
I was like, oh.
All right, now here's the most important question though. Is it subbed or dubbed?
Both.
I think there's a dub.
both.
I do believe there's a dub.
Yeah, I think there's a dog.
It's both, yeah.
Then there's hope. There's hope for me yet.
Insane work.
All right. And now, topic number 5. I was surprised the last topic didn't get more heated. I think this one might get a little more intense. Who is the best swordsman amongst the Hashira in Demon Slayer?
The best swordsman. Man.
You, Tomioka.
I think there's an argument for Moichiro Tokito.
I'm also saying it's Moichiro.
Yeah, but Yurichiro's not a Hashira.
Moichiro is a Hashira. He's the Miss Hashira.
The Miss Hashira.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the original Sunbreather, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
Because they definitely was like, he's the best swordsman in the world. And I was like, okay. So everyone has to compare to that. Got it.
Yep.
100%. But of the current Hashira, who do you think has it most?
I'm still going with Giyu. Simply, if we're judging a swordsman, I'm leaning technique rather than strength. I know that there's an argument for actually the Snake Hashira as the best one. Yeah, because of his special ability. But I felt like that was kind of a cop-out because he's the only one that could do that. And it don't really feel fair to me. Like, you the best because...
What is it? Is it an element of swordsmanship, though? Because if it is, then there's an argument to be had.
It's an element of his swordsmanship because of how his sword is, but it's not. He can't do that with like a regular sword. That's why I was like, I don't like it.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. To me, I feel like the reason I say Muichiro is because Muichiro. Oh, and Love and Main, I'm gonna let you say yours too. But I just want to say this one point. Muichiro, the reason I gave it to Muichiro is because he took on an upper rank, one deep, and took the W. He struggled. He rode the struggle bus there for a little bit, but that man pulled out the W, and that was the first Hashira we saw do it. Solo dolo, like, cool, I'm here to pull your card. What's up?
Yeah.
No more people in jars. And unfortunately, Giyu, when he has his upper rank encounter, does not have a similar experience. Granted, he fights a much stronger upper moon, but still. Love and Main, let me have it.
I mean, like I've said before, me personally, I don't believe I have seen enough of any of them to actually really, like be like definitive. So I have 3 that I would like to toss they had in. Giyu is one. The Snake Hashira wasn't my next one. And the Sound Hashira or the Flash Hashira.
It's the Sound Hashira, Tengen Uzui.
Tengen. Okay.
I think there's an argument for Tengen. I mean, he's got a lot of useful techniques.
Well, for sure.
Like, and to be honest, none of the other people would have survived without Tengen's efforts. Like, had Tengen not been present, everybody would have died.
Yes.
And that stands to his feats, you know what I mean? I mean, durability, that man is next level. Like, he took a beating and still came back for more. Like, I'm gonna hold my weapon in my damn teeth and still get you.
A whole hand that was still whipping 2 swords around.
Yeah, I don't even care.
It's like, I can finally see the beat. I can finally see the harmony of your attack. I'm gonna defeat you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my 3.
Understood.
So,
all right. Now moving on to the anime recommendation. Let's have it, gentlemen.
Yeah, anime recommendation of the week.
What we got?
Of my personal favorites. It's called Bungo No Stray Dogs.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Officially, it is a mystery anime. But it's actually, I would say it's more of a mystery comedy anime that has elements of straight up just shonen violence. So this anime is not confined necessarily to like a power system. There are powers at play. People do have special abilities. And there is a special detective agency in this port city who investigate people with those abilities and strange occurrences. And everyone in that agency has an ability. Our main character, just to spoil the first episode, happened to be cursed to become a were-tiger. And that, in his pursuit of trying to like live with this curse, he gets employed by the detective agency as like a junior detective. He works with their head detective, who is this like nonchalant, kind of unseeming guy who seems to be obsessed with offing himself. And it's really funny. It's hilarious. Every episode he finds a new way to try and do it. None of them work, but he tries it anyways. And then they introduce a criminal element, which is a mafia that I don't want to spoil any more of the show of, but like There's a connection with the detective agency. Some outsiders come in. It ends up in this big battle shonen showdown with these outsiders, the mafia and the detective agency. It's really cool. I guarantee.
Juicy.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. It's very, very cool.
So it kind of sounds like to me like Fooly Cooley, Bloody Roars, if anybody remember that game, and like I can't remember the name of this anime right now, but it sounds like all three of them got together and just had a baby, and that's this show here.
Yeah,
It sounds like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, it's got similar
it's like
things between those three, like for sure.
Yu Yu Hakusho mixed with Fooly.
It has that feel. It's really, really cool. I guarantee, like, season 1, you're gonna be like, bro, what? There's also a movie for it. Check that out. And I haven't watched season 2 just because when I watched season 1, it was so long ago, I'd have to rewatch season 1 and peep the movie. But from what I've seen, it's really good stuff. Like, I guarantee you're gonna enjoy it somehow. It's also stupid funny.
I'm gonna add it to my watch list today.
I got it on my watch list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But based on this recommendation and the fact that it's like Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm down. Putting it down in the books. Anime question of the week. What would your magic attribute be from Black Clover?
Ooh, darkness.
I would see. Look. Same page. Same page. Like, same page. Not only just darkness with the devil. Like, come on, bro. Give me all the sauce.
I was also gonna say something alluding towards like darkness with like shadows. So like, yeah, bro, I'm popping up out your shadow, you're gone.
Like, for real. Like, I'm really not a mage.
I'm really not. I'm gonna pop about the shadow and be like, you ever been inside the shadow? That's it. You're gone.
What you think?
I think mine would end up being like Earth.
Ooh,
that's magic as fire.
Nice.
Yeah, I think mine would be Earth, and I would probably end up being like one of the elementals. Like being able to tame one of the elemental spirits, or or I would probably be like half elf or something. But yeah, either way it go.
Wait,
I like that.
Seen Earth Elemental in Black Clover.
Exactly.
So
I mean, on the way.
For me, I think I'm gonna have a devil arrangement, but beyond that, my magic attribute is gonna be spatial magic.
Ew.
So in addition to casting normal like portal spells and stuff like that, and being able to use portals in the ways that we've seen, I think another way to interpret the spatial magic is being able to interface with space. And with that being said, I'm going to be pulling some Lemillion shit. Just get ready for a whole bunch of shenanigans. I'm going to be on the battlefield just wrecking. Just cool. Just so you know, here's some butt cheeks to the face. Donk.
Wow. You've been to the other side of the world before? No. What you mean?
I literally see Tyler making like a small portal in front of him. Nut check.
See, so I work in construction and people play the nut check game on the job. I don't partake because to me, listen.
No, I feel it.
I've seen it get too out of hand. We don't play nut check games.
No, it's a stupid.
But I would say, honest to God, I'm so lazy. The thing I would use it mostly for is just for getting to work on time without having to do it traffic.
Of course, but I'm not burning fossil fuels.
You said fossil fuel. Hey, bro, we gotta go. Come on.
Man, we going on vacation, Jamaica.
Definitely get a car one.
Air fight. Done. Yeah, forget about it.
Yes.
And then the way that the younger brother wields it, of the two spatial magic wielders, oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was gross.
Plus on devil magic potential, yeah.
Like if you get the devil of space-time, now you done amp your own magic and you got a contract with him, you out here talking about tomorrow.
You're gonna fall into a portal that's gonna have you falling for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, not 30 minutes.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
That boy Loki was so upset.
That being
Doctor Strange
said,
not playing with him.
Please comment. Anime question of the week. What would your magic attribute be from Black Clover? Let us know. We want to know. Let us know what your takes are on our debate topics. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did we spout facts? Are we talking nonsense? Let us know. With that
What
being
do you
said, this has been another episode of Young Bros Anime Talk.
No, my phone almost fell.
Yo, bro.